Everyone, I hope everybody's doing good today. It's just me, Pat. I'm here from the moon. I'm actually just sitting here reading a book, and I thought about it a little bit, and really haven't reached out to anyone on my page. Actually, excuse me, this might be my first video I made since I talked to everybody right before I went to Still Grateful Fest. That was last year, so I think it's time I put something out there. But this one's going to be a little more vulnerable for me. I'm putting myself out there. I want to talk a little bit about myself and where I come from and everything. So I guess introductions, so you know who I am. I'm the artist, and plan on keep on drawing. I plan on drawing more, should I say. I've just been in a play for the last couple weeks, and I've also been sick, so I apologize. I'm getting over pneumonia. Excuse me. Speak of the devil. And it's kind of a rainy day today, and it's very damp and kind of cool, so it's probably a good day to just sit inside. I guess where to start was I used to be an atheist. I shouldn't say used to be, but I guess I can say that in all certainty now. Science was a big thing for me. I grew up Roman Catholic, and I retired quickly from that. Just something archaic for me to think about someone living in the sky with a beard and a robe that created us all and loves us and judges us. I thought that was just plain silly. So for years I had gone through just being a science head, and about a year and a half ago, I found someone called Alan Watts, and he's a teacher. He died I think he died in the 70s. Don't quote me on that, but he taught a lot about Eastern philosophy. But the way he can articulate it, the way he can put it into words, the way he could talk about it to you and make you understand, is very amazing. Actually, the first video that got me into him was Life is Not a Journey. A little synopsis. It just talks about, your life shouldn't be composed of the next step. People forget to live in the now, and the now is very important to live in. But we'll get to that in a minute. What got me into him is I was at a stalemate in my life, and I just felt like I wasn't where I needed to be, or maybe more so where I wanted to be. And I needed something different to give me more perspective. And I wasn't really searching for him in any way, shape, or form, but the video fell into my lap, and I absolutely fell in love. I think the guy was amazing, very smart, very articulate, the way he could talk to you, which he alone brought me into Eastern philosophy. Now, before I go any further, I want to stress Eastern philosophy, because it's not a religion. There's a lot of names for, religions and stuff. Eastern philosophy is an idea, and I love it. It's the whole Kevin Smith thing from Dogma. You don't kill and die over ideas. You can discuss them, which I think is beautiful. So I'm not here to sell anything to you. I'm going to go over a little bit of what I've learned from Eastern philosophy. It goes hand in hand with science. Science dictates that matter cannot be created or destroyed. It also dictates that we're made of star stuff. So you can literally look in a telescope and watch supernovas, or at least remembrance of them, with the nebula that are in the universe. Nebula are giant gas clouds that are created from supernovas that are little nurseries for new stars and new planets made out of the original star that exploded. It's really a beautiful thing. Well, Buddha and his teachings from Eastern philosophy have been teaching basically the same thing for thousands of years without having all the knowledge that our scientists have today. He says that we're all one with the universe, and it's a very unique concept. So if you look at you or me or anybody or anything, we're all one. I'm you, you're me. There is no I. And where there are creatures on distant galaxies being created and coming into being, they're also you. You could only experience things one at a time, which I find to be absolutely profound. Because it goes hand in hand. Science says that matter cannot be created or destroyed, like I said a moment ago. So in the beginning of the universe, let's just say the Big Bang, all the matter that was created is still the only matter that's here today. It's just being reused. If you think that a mother just magically makes matter to create a baby in her womb, you're an idiot. It's not how it works at all. So just throw that out there. I'm going to get to the idea that I'm going to try to articulate this one last time quick before I move to the next thing. Imagine you are the whole universe, right where you are. You are the whole universe. You are what the whole universe is doing at your particular spot right now, as much as a single wave crashing on the shore is what something the whole ocean is doing. If that's any way to put it in perspective. Which brings me to my next topic, awakening. Either you've had one or you haven't. I've had one. I've known a lot of people who have. Either you had it or you hadn't, and there's no in between. You're either, quoting Alan Watts, you're either ready to wake up or you're not. You'll just remain poor little old me, which is fine. It doesn't matter either way. But the people who have woken up understand where I'm coming from. It's a very profound experience to understand yourself and the entire universe and understand that you're part of this bigger thing. Going into other religions, they had names for it. Some people called it Yahweh. Some people call it God. Some people call it Jesus or Muhammad or whatever. And they're all great and all. None of them really stuck except for, their religion. But I like to call it the universe. It exists. You could literally see the universe. It exists, and we're part of it. So, I think most prophets had an awakening, and this is just my opinion, like Jesus and them. I think most of those prophets had an awakening. I think they just didn't know how to describe it. I'm not even going to begin to describe it to you because it's very difficult to put it into anything words. You can't put it into words. You can't articulate it. I just think that it was misconstrued. Their awakening was misconstrued and came out all wrong. Or maybe they were describing it fine, but the people that didn't wake up are listening to this person talk about things that they can't possibly understand, and they just totally wrote down the wrong crap. So, but getting back to my final thought here, we live in the now. And I've actually used this. This is my saying. I've come up with this. I say, if you live in the past, you live in depression. If you live in the future, you live in anxiety. If you live in the now, you live in peace. And I'll really quick give this one. If you live in the past, you're worried about all things that you've done. And you're worried about things that, decisions you made. If you live in the future, you're worried about your next move or what tomorrow has to bring or the day after that or next month or whatever. If you live in the now, you don't have to worry about those things. And I'll give you a little analogy. Like, imagine now being a ship. The metaphorical now is the ship crossing the ocean. The past is like the wakes bubbling off the bow of the ship and disappearing back into the ocean. The future, you may be able to see a few miles. You may be able to see a mile or 2 or 5 or whatever it is out. But you can't see forever. But what you can do is you can affect the now. The future can't happen until you make decisions in the now. You need to make them now. Anyway, I kind of put myself out here a little bit. Just discussed a few quick topics. I'd love for comments because I think this will open up a lot of discussions. I'm not preaching to anybody. I'm not telling you what to believe. Certainly you have your own beliefs and your own things, and that's awesome. These are just happen to be some of my core values. I'd love to hear from you guys. I hope you're having a great day, and I will hopefully see you soon. And take care from the moon.